Hello. Hi, Denise. Hi, Kristen. Oh, you guys are on YouTube today, right? Looks like. Hopefully, I'm on Facebook too. How are you guys doing? I'm just waiting to see if anyone else hops on. Oh, okay. That makes sense. You have options. So yes, do you remember I was having all those issues a few months ago? But the software I use, I used to have to use like a third party, well, or fourth party software to stream to YouTube at the same time. But the program I use for my streaming on Facebook, they're now able to multi-stream to different platforms, so I can stream to Facebook and YouTube just using them now, which has made it much less complicated, and I haven't had issues so far. Let's see, Kristen, doing well. I watched this morning from beginning to end of the Queen's procession. Yes, we have to talk about the Queen, don't we? I can't believe that it's a week tomorrow. It'll be a week since we found out that she'd died. I was actually messaging with my two sisters. We're going on a cruise, a New England and Canada cruise in a few weeks. And I was messaging with my sisters in England about cruise stuff. And my older sister, Christine, who's quite often on here, actually, she just said, oh, the Queen's just died. And then my husband called out too. He heard it at the same time. Of course, we knew in the morning that she wasn't doing well. But yeah, and then I was actually out of town from Friday, like the whole weekend. So visiting family in Houston, my husband's family. So I actually wasn't able to watch much, unfortunately. And I didn't think to set anything to record before I left. But I've been watching the television since I got back, and I did watch King Charles's speech, and yeah, and I must say, it makes me quite proud to be British watching all the pomp and ceremony. I mean, Britain certainly knows how to do ceremony, don't they? And just the precision they do everything with. It's been absolutely amazing, and I'm going to get all emotional now, but just seeing how much she was loved and seeing everyone, coming out to see her has been quite amazing. So I'm getting all emotional here. But anyway, yes. So, and I'm sure if I was in England, I'd be lining up to go see her probably. Times like this, I wish I was back home. But yeah, it's all quite sad and the beginning of a new era, obviously. So anyway, yes, I expect some of you have been watching it. I actually have the TV on at muted at the moment in my office because I was watching the procession this morning. So yeah, so yeah, so it's been a busy week. Like I say, we're out of town on. I was out of town in Houston for the weekend visiting family. My husband's older brother, it was his 75th birthday, so we had some birthday celebrations and shenanigans. So that was a fun weekend. So now back to work. Anyway, got a few people popping on. So I will go again and pull myself together here. And oh, Kristen, yeah, I know. I did last Thursday. Yes, I was a mess. So yes, it's I mean, she's all I've ever known in terms of, monarchy in England. It's all many of us have ever known, and she was so popular. So it's definitely end of an era. But anyway, well, welcome everyone. So glad you're here. If you're watching live or if you're watching me on the replay, welcome. It's good to see you all. Looking forward to hanging out with you for a little bit. So there's just lots going on with Stamping Up at the moment. We've got the weekly deals, of course. So there are new weekly deals tomorrow. And hi, Colleen. Good to see you. So yes, all through September, there are different weekly deals every week. And actually today, on Wednesdays, you'll actually be able to see this week's and next week's just for one day. So you'll be able to order from 2 weeks worth today. And the reason for that, they explained, is because in Australia, of course, they're a day ahead of us. And so in order to, apparently there are some kind of limitations on the system, how the system works. In order to be able to post, so that Australia get their new ones on tomorrow, the 15th, they have to post them all for all the global markets on early. So it means that we get to see them a day early, and we actually get to order from 2 weeks just for one day. And then tomorrow we'll just be able to see next week's. So today's the day to go and order from the weekly deals if you've got stuff on, both weeks that you're interested in. Don't forget too that everybody that orders at least $30, for every $30 that you spend, you'll get a ticket to go into my paper pumpkin drawing for my sunflower paper pumpkin kit. I got an extra one because I know a lot of you missed out on that. So you'll go into a drawing for that too, and I'll draw the winner on October 1st. So let's see what else is going on. And then tomorrow there is a big stamp sale. So and I'll talk about that some more, but all the stamps in the annual catalogue except the host stamp, the host stamps at the very back of the catalogue, are going to be 15% off just for one day tomorrow. That sale starts at midnight tonight Mountain Time. So like for me, that's 11 p.m. actually, because I'm, in California, and then it goes just for 24 hours. So can combine that with the weekly deals, and yes, exciting stuff. Always, who doesn't love a good sale, right? Let's see what else. Oh, we've got some new some new logo items. Here's one of, let me show you this one first. So we have a new mug with the Stamping Up logo. It's lovely. It's gingham, and it's not perfect. It's just kind of, some of the lines are a little bit crooked. It's supposed to be like that, I think. And this gingham is very in at the moment, isn't it? It's very on trend. So it's a very nice mug. So I'll be making my coffee in that. And then to go with my coffee or my hot chocolate for the winter weather, we have a lovely beanie. So which has a nice leather, or I don't know if it's leather, but Stampin' Up logo. And I won't put it on because I'll mess my hair up. But it's got a lovely, it's really nice. It's really soft. It's kind of an off-white, and of course cable. And yeah, really nice and stretchy. So it'll fit all sizes. I'll take a picture later of me wearing the hat and holding my mug. I'll take a selfie and post it. But those are available on the regular website. So you can go to the website and go to logo items to see those. And there's others like the hoodie that have been around for a while, and the mugs. Kind of fun that they're making these available for customers too. Anyway, let me switch you down. Let's talk about what we're going to be making today. Let's see here. Find my little. All right. So today I'm going to be I was going to make a card from using stamp sets from the mini catalogue, but as there's a stamp sale tomorrow, I thought from the annual catalogue, I thought I would use a stamp set from the annual catalogue, one of my favourites. So I'm using this stamp set today, Nature's Prints, which is part of the Sun Prints suite. I'm not going to be using the paper, although the paper's really beautiful. Kristen said she needs the beanie. Yes, you're back east where it gets a bit chilly. You definitely need it. It's cute, isn't it? I like it. Anyway, I'm just going to be using the stamp set today and the dies, and I'm going to show you a fun technique. So this is in the annual catalogue, this one. This is my copy, which is a little dog-eared and well-worn. So all the stamp sets in the annual catalogue, so I counted, there's 136 are 15% off just for tomorrow. The only ones that aren't included are these ones that are right in the back. These ones. These are the host sets, and they are discounted, heavily discounted anyway. And you can only get these as a host if your order's $150 or more. So these are not included in the sale. But all the other stamp sets in the catalogue are 15% off tomorrow. So that's exciting. I have my list that I'll be ordering, I'm sure. So let me show you the card. Let's see, let's put this to one side. It's right there. The card I'm going to be making. So a few weeks ago, or maybe a month ago in August, beginning of August, Kathy Williams and I, my demonstrator friend, put on an event called Don't Rock the Block. I think some of you may have attended or heard me talking about it. And I did a presentation on heat embossing techniques. I showed lots of different ways to heat emboss that you may not have thought about doing. So this is one of the cards that I showed and showed how to make. So I'm going to show you how to make this one today, and it's just kind of a fun technique. And then be sure to stick around to the end, because I have lots of other card samples using this this bundle. So I'll show you those also, because this is one of the ones that's on sale tomorrow. So let's get started. So for the supplies, and I'll post everything that I'm using afterwards, but I've got, I've got a regular basic black card base, which is 11 by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2. And then I've got some basic white. So I've got a piece of basing white that is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So I've just taken 1/8 of an inch off from both sides from my standard quarter piece. And let me zoom in here. And the first thing I'm going to do is make the background. So, and I used something that I'm sure a lot of you have. So one of the things I showed people was the other tools that you could use for stamping embossing, heating embossing, other than using your stamps. So today, to get that background, I am going to use a little sponge dauber. So these come in a pack of, I think, 4 or 5 in a pack, and they're great because they just fit on your finger. And you can use them for inks, but I've got this one that I've kept aside for using with my Versamark ink. So let me grab my Versamark ink. Now you could do this, I'm going to be using white embossing powder, but you could do this with gold or silver, and you can do it on vellum too. And I have a card that I'll show you in a little bit where I used vellum. So I'm going to use my embossing buddy, which is here. And this is not critical, as this is kind of a sponge background, but I like to do it anyway. Now this is going to be a little bit tricky to see because the Versamark is clear, but I will more here. Let me move over so that I'm more in the middle. See here. Okay, that's good. So, and actually I'm going to tilt this a bit. So I'm just daubing let me show you where I'm daubing my finger into my Versamark. And you want to make sure that your Versamark is really well inked up. So be sure to get the refill and I already refilled it a little bit yesterday. And then I'm going to start just making a pattern, and it's not going to be perfect. I'm going to go in the middle first, and I'm just pressing firmly, and I'm going to go to the side. And then what I'm actually going to do, because it's a bit hard to see, I don't know if you can see, oh yeah, you can a little bit. What I'm going to do is after every row, I'm going to grab my white embossing powder, and I'm just going to sprinkle on some and tap it off, and that way I can see a little bit better where I've gone. So I'm just going to keep going down, and you could do whatever design you like, and if you're not comfortable just kind of winging it like I am, you could definitely draw some pencil lines to help you see a little bit better, but I don't think we're not going for perfection here. We're just going for a kind of a fun background. I don't even have to take the little sponge off my finger, look. So I'm sure many of you have these sponge daubers, so this would be something that you could try. And I don't actually need to go quite all the way to the bottom, because the bottom part is going to have a little layer of black cardstock over it with the sentiment. So I'm going to just do one more row, and that way I'll be able to hold on to the bottom fairly easily without getting my fingers. So like I say, you could do this in whatever color you like. Gold, silver, copper, or you could do it on dark cardstock and use clear embossing. Right, so I've just left a little gap, so I don't know if you can see. There's all my dots. I've got a little gap at the bottom where I don't need it, so I can take that off for now. Put that one to one side. I'm going to do a little bit more embossing in a minute. I've got a little tiny flick. That'll be all right. All right, so I'm going to grab my my heat gun. I'm going to heat it up for a little bit. I'm going to hold it away. Just let it warm just for a few seconds. Hopefully that's not too loud. So I'll show you one in a minute that I did on vellum with silver. Right, so let's bring this in now and see if we can, hopefully you'll be able to see this a little bit. I don't know if you can see that changing or not. A little bit of a different angle. If you get your heat gun good and hot, it'll go pretty fast. Alright, I'm just going to switch so that you can see. I've got one more row to do, but I'm going to turn it around so I don't burn my fingers. Should be using my clothespin, shouldn't I? Alright, so that's all good. Oh, there's a little bit I missed right there. And final sweep. Alright, that is good. Now I'm going to put that to side just to cool off just for a moment, and let's do the this one from the front. So here's the stamp set, Nature's Prints, and today I'm really just going to be using this image and some of the sentiments. And I already have that actually mounted on a block, so let me grab that. So I'll do the sentiment also. So I've got a strip of cardstock that is, let's see, this is about 4 1/8 to the same size, same width as my white piece, and it's 1.5 inches, but I'll put all the dimensions later. So, and then I've got another piece of black to do the big image. So let's see, where did I put my embossing buddy? Let's just do this. Okay. Grab my Versamark again. Trying to do this so that you can see. Everybody's very quiet today. So how many, do some of you own this stamp set already? I bet you do. I should have picked one that was like, you know, not quite so popular. So let's hold on this. This is a really lovely stamp. It's one of those distinctive stamps. I'll show you some examples at the end, you know, stamp where it's stamped in colour. Look how beautiful that is. It looks really beautiful when you emboss it. So I'm just going to put that to side for a second and do the sentiment. So I'm using Best Wishes and Happy Thoughts. And I didn't test it out to see if it stamps straight. So let's hope. I'm going to stand up. So I like to line up my paper straight on my grid paper so that I don't get conflicting lines. And I'm going to do this to the bottom right. I'll hopefully get this straight. Let's see. Oops. Sit down again. That's pretty good. Maybe not perfect, but pretty straight, I think. I think that'll do. So let's put away the Versamark and my powder. And just heat these quickly. So the heat gun should still be pretty nice and warm. That one. Can you see that changing a little bit? Hopefully you can. Oh, it's so pretty. If you can see the. Right, so I think I will get this die cut. And then all we'll need to do is finish the background and assemble. So I'm going to grab my little my baby boss and my plates. Zoom out just a little bit. Right, let's see. So here are the dies. You get a lot of dies. Let's see how many. I've covered up my little sign here. You get 11 dies. You get this nice big wreath die, and I'll show you something that I made with that. And there's some sentiment dies, and then this is the one that I need. What's nice too is look at these little ones that you get. These are kind of free. These don't match with the stamped images. These are like additional freestanding dies. But look, you get 3 of these little ones, and then you get 2 of these, which is always nice, isn't it? So that you can do multiples at one time. And then these 3 cut out the other images on the stamp set. So let's get this one die cut. And it'll fit in the mini, which is nice. The wreath won't, I don't think, that big wreath. But everything else will. So let's just line this up. I've got a little bit of tape. So nobody has this stamp set, huh? Nobody said that they did. Is it on your list, anybody? I really like it. It's when I first saw that suite in the annual catalogue, it was like at the top of my list. Like, ooh, I got to get that one. So let's do this. Turn this around this way. There we go. And there's our pretty image. So I'm going to put that to one side, put my die away here. And honey. Alright. Okay, now let's bring back in this background piece. Remember our dotty piece. I'm going to grab my grid paper here and I'm going to do some sponging. So I'm going to use the 3 colours I'm using are 3 of the new in colours. So I'm using Orchid Oasis. So I'm going to open them up. Tahitian Tide and Parakeet Party. So I'm going to use these. And then I've got, you've seen me do this before, but I keep, for my blending brushes, I keep a brush for each colour family. I got these little clips on Etsy. If you're interested in, leave me a comment and I'll post the link. I'll try and remember to post the link anyway. But so for blues, I keep a light blue and a dark blue brush. These brushes come 3 to a pack. So I brought several packs and I just keep one. So this is purples, light blues, and then greens. I could do with 2 for green really, because this is a really light one. So I might have to add another one. But I'm going to start at the top with the green, and I'm just going to do some little specks in there. I'm just going to do some sponging. So I'm just inking up my brush, and I'm just going to tap off the excess, and then I'm just going to go in and sponge. And any of you that know me well know I love to do sponging, and it's really fun. This is called Emboss Resist, and it's just a really fun technique, and it's very forgiving. You don't have to worry about getting big splodges of ink, you know, big harsh lines. So I'll do a little bit more here. So yeah, these are 2 of my favorite techniques, heat embossing and sponging. 2 of my favorite techniques. So fun. All right, so let's go now into the Tahitian Tide. Do some of that. I didn't tap that off, so I do have a bit of a harsh edge there. Never mind. We're going to go fairly dark, so it's going to be fine. And you can go back and forth between the colours, making sure you use the right brush until you have just the level of colour that you like. So that's some blue. Let's go in now with some Orchid Oasis. This is my favourite of the in colours. Do you have a favourite in colour? Orchid Oasis is my favourite. Probably followed by Starry Sky, but actually I do like them all. So you just keep building up layers, and I want to then start to kind of blend between the 2 colours. So I wonder if I used Starry Sky on this one. I bet I did. Let me have a look at my little... Oh no, it says Orchid Oasis. I think I used Starry Sky on this one, but Orchid Oasis will look with the Orchid Oasis. See how dark how it is getting that kind of dark bluey midnight sky colour. So pretty. And I'm going to go in and do a bit more between the Tahitian So this is really fun to do. And I'm going and do a little bit more party parakeet, just make that a little bit darker. I think I'm going to go back in with the blue, the Tahitian tie just one more time. I think that looks pretty good. Isn't that pretty? So you could do this in, I think, any colour combination that you like, obviously. And you just go back and forth until you are happy with your blend and your colours. So I think that looks perfect. So let's close up my pinks, put those away. And then the one thing I like to do before completely finishing up, I like to just take a soft cloth. You can use a paper towel. I just have a cloth that I keep, a nice soft cloth, and I like to just go over and wipe all over. And you see how nice and bright those dots are coming again. So it just takes any, I mean, the embossed areas do resist the ink, but you end up with a little bit that just sits on the surface. So a cloth will just take care of that. All right, so that's pretty, isn't it? Okay, you guys are so quiet today. Are you still there? Am I still live? Who else is watching? Say hi. All right, let's grab all my pieces. So I've got, oh, and we need to stamp the inside too. We'll do that at the end. All right, so I've got this piece and this piece. And then I've got my die cut pieces. So I'm going to attach these two pieces first. Let's get my Stampin' seal. And just stick this along the bottom. See, get that lined up like that. And then I'm going to, let's see, did I stick this on the dimensionals? No. I'm going to then do my twine. So if you see here, I use the in-colour twines to match. I use the 3 colours that match, so Orchid Oasis, Tahitian Tide and Parakeet Party. And I wrap 3 different colours around, and then I just used 2 of them to tie the bow. So I'll show you how I did that. So the twine, it comes in a pack of 5. I already pulled out the 3 that I need. You can see I'm getting low on these, but it's 2022 to 2024 in color twine pack. Oh, Denise says the sound keeps cutting out. Let me check my sound here. Hopefully it's not me. Let me test my, see if my microphone now. So my microphone looks like it's working. Is anybody else having that trouble? Let me know if you're having trouble with the sound too, and then I'll know if it's me or if it's Denise's end. I don't see anything wrong here. Maybe that's why nobody's commenting. They can't hear me. Hope not. Yeah, let me know if you're hearing me okay. All right, so I'm going to take a length of each of these pieces of twine and cut them, just a piece of each. Is everybody hearing me okay? Nobody's commenting, so maybe nobody's hearing. Let me know if you're hearing me. I can switch to, I have an external microphone. I can switch to my computer microphone maybe. But let me know. All right, so now I'm going to just put a little bit of adhesive on the back. This is the way I like to do it. And I'm going to just take my 3 pieces. Let's get my silicone mat. That will be useful. So is nobody hearing me? Nobody's commenting. Well, let me switch to my other mic. I'm going to switch to my AirPods, see if that's better. Oh, so someone's saying they can hear me. Okay, so I'm going to switch back. Okay, I think that's Colleen, right? Is that Colleen that's saying you have the bundle? All right. Okay, so I'm going to just wrap these round. Kind of about the, and I can kind of tweak them a little bit once I get them wrapped around. So I do that one. And then we'll do the next one. Doesn't really matter the order. They're kind of subtle colors, you know, they're not really bright in your face, so it doesn't really matter the order you do them. And I'm spreading them out slightly more on the right than on the left. The sound cuts out. Okay, I'm going to switch to my other mic, my headphone, my AirPod mic. Let's see, Jennings AirPods. Right, I switched to my AirPods mic. Let's see if that's better. So let me know if it's still cutting out. I'm sorry about that. I don't know what's happening. It's always something. We love technology when it's working properly, but not so much when it's giving us problems. All right, so that looks good. Now let's go ahead and I can trim these off a little bit at the back. It's louder. Okay, well that's good maybe. Hopefully it won't cut out anymore. I use an external mic that my son gave me actually, but I switched to my AirPod mic, so we'll see if that works better. All right. And stick this on, and I'm not, you could definitely put this on with dimensionals, but I'm just doing it flat on. So we will center this. I can get rid of my silicone mat here. And center this in the middle of our card base. And you could make the white a little bit smaller if you like it, you know, a little bit more of a gap around the edge. I like just a narrow gap. And then I'm going to take, let's see, what did I do with my, I'm going to take just 2 pieces of twine, because I think 3 is a bit much for a bow. Or you could try 3. I'm going to just do 3. So I've got the 2 blues, or the Orchid Oasis and the Tahitian Tide. And then I'm just going to tie, actually I can just go under here like this. Now I can just tie my bow. And notice I'm doing this before I attach my my other pieces. And then because I'm tying this on afterwards, I can actually kind of move it. You know, I can scoot it left or right if I need to. So that looks pretty good. And I'll probably, once I'm sure I've got it in the right place, I'll add a little glue dot. Okay, so that's that. Now let's bring in these pieces. So this I'm going to add with dimensionals. So let's see, I can probably use big ones. Put some of these on. Is the sound better now for you? It's not cutting out anymore? Let me know if it's still cutting out. I'll have to see what else I can figure out. let's just put a little one at the top there. Maybe a little one in there too. Probably a bit overkill on the dimensionals, but so the weather has cooled down here now. It's really nice here now. We were over our heat wave, and now it was only 71. Right before I started my Facebook Live, I looked at the temperature and it was 71. It's only supposed to get to 80 something today. So, yippee. I actually had to wear a hoodie walking the dog this morning because it was 60, 63, 64. It was chilly. So, anyway, I'm so excited that the weather's cooling down. So, you can just position this wherever we like. So, I think about like that. It's pretty. And then I've already die cut some extra little pieces from, do you remember those the extra little pieces I was showing you? I've got way more than I need, but I did a few extra. As they give you multiple die cuts for each. It's nice. Okay, so I'm going to put a couple. Let's put one in here like this. So let's see. I think I'll use a little bit of liquid glue. These are just basic black. I like the look of kind of silhouetted stuff against bright colors. I think it looks pretty. So I'll poke this one in under here. And then this one, I think I may need to trim a little bit. So I'm going to cut down just a touch. So that's going to be better. And actually what you can do too is we could actually flip it over so it doesn't look quite. I might do that. So there's a little trick so that it doesn't look identical. I'm going to actually flip it over and I'll trim off just a little bit more. And put adhesive on the top side, and then it'll be kind of like a mirror image. It won't look quite like it's just identical to the other one. A few little dots of glue, and then we can put, well, I should do it at a different angle so it doesn't look the same. Getting in a mess. All right, and then let's put a couple of these little ones down here. Maybe just one actually. I think it's going to be good enough. I can save these others for another card. All right, so what else do I need to do? I think that's it. Now, you could, I wondered if I should put some other embellishments, but I think actually it's probably, what do you think? Should I add some other embellishments or should I leave it like that? I kind of feel like it's got enough going on the card anyway, just like that. So I think I will leave that. Oh, and let's do the inside quickly. So I've got another piece of white cardstock, and then I'll show you some other examples, so hang around for a few more minutes. Let's grab this. Let's do this side. All right, so I'm just going to, I've got another sentiment that says you're on my mind, so best wishes and happy thoughts, you're on my mind. And then I'm just going to stamp this again with, and actually I will use this side, so I'm going to grab my Orchid Oasis and ink that up. And then I'm going to stamp it off one and then just stamp it down here. Like that. And then maybe I'll just do the sentiment in Orchid Oasis too. No, I'm going to do the sentiment in black. So I went into black. You're on my mind. That's pretty. All right, and let's attach this inside. there's our card. So let me clear the decks a little bit and I'll show you some other ones that are either I've made or I've received as swaps using the same bundle. So this is not using the same bundle, but here's another card that's using the same sponge dauber technique with the little hippos. And what I did here is I used silver on vellum. So the same idea for a fun background. So that's cute. And then here's some other cards using this bundle. So this card was one of the make and takes at the Don't Rock the Block event. And here, these actually used the note cards that were available during celebration, the soft sea foam and pool party note cards. But you can use the Splendid Day Designer Series paper, is almost the same as this, or any designer paper that you liked, really. And I don't know if you can see in the background, but there's a stamp that's kind of a splatter stamp, this one. So this is used in the background with pool party. I just stamped off to make it a little lighter. And there's the little flower. So that's those two. And here's another one. This is a swap that I received. Take it out of here. So this is from Amanda Batch. So I think I got this when I was at backstage the other couple of weeks ago. So this one, she stamped on using all the different stamps on the background, and then she's used the sentiment, the die cut that cuts the sentiment. This is another swap that I received, and is that lovely big image, and then she's heat embossed in white, that fern, that kind of fern image. This is Christine Blackburn. And then these we made in our team meeting a few months ago now, when the annual catalogue first came out, I think. And this is a little, let me open one and show you. This is a little note card holder. So this is made with the Designer Series paper. So this is one piece of the Designer Series paper. And so, yeah, like this was, let's see, let me open the other one because this one doesn't have any embellishments on the cards. But yeah, we did this in our team meeting. In our team meeting once a month, we do a make and take project. And this was one of them, which was a big hit. So here's the cards. This is one of them. And then this is another. And there's an embossing folder that's part of the suite. So we use that too. And then here's the other ones. That's the Designer Series paper again. And we did the envelopes. There's one more card. Here's the other one. And there's the wreath. And of course the wreath is on the front too. So anyway, so there's some ideas using that bundle. Let me come back up and see if I can switch the camera back. All right. So anyway, I hope you liked the card today. And sorry about the sound. I'll have to go back and listen and see how it is. Hopefully on the recording, because this records, hopefully on the recording it's okay. But anyway, thanks so much for joining me today. I'm going to go back to watching the coverage of the Queen in state and all that. But I hope you have a lovely rest of the week. Don't forget the stamp sale tomorrow. And my host code is at the top of the screen there. And don't forget also that any order that you place $30 or more, you'll get an entry. For every $30, you'll get an entry into my drawing for the paper pumpkin kit. So have a great rest of the week, everybody, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.